Hey everyone, it's me, Vivi, and welcome back to some Kingdom Hearts. So according to Xbox's store, KH3's digital approximate size will be 36 gigabytes. Now what about the digital one over on the PS store? We don't know yet. Some will say, well, it's obvious, dude, right? It's the same game. Sure, it's two different platforms. Why are we gonna argue, right? It should be 36 for both. Not really. The thing is, we don't know. Sometimes games on Xbox, in terms of installation, tend to be bigger or smaller. We don't know why. It just so happens to be the case. Is it due to how compression works on both systems? We don't know. For example, Final Fantasy 15 originally, the base game, was 40 gigabytes, mentioned over on the PS store, but it was technically 50. It did say 50 over on the Xbox store if I remember correctly. It doesn't say that anymore, obviously. Now the base game on PS store is 66 gigabytes if I'm not mistaken, looking at the Royal Edition, which comes with DLC codes. So really, 36 gigabytes on Xbox? Don't take it as the final size. Like the true final size. I wouldn't take that as confirmation, especially for the PS4's file size. Another example of this would be the Spyro Reignited trilogy, something I've talked about a lot on this channel. It's stated 36 gigabytes on Xbox, but the final size on PS4 is approximately 67.5 gigabytes. And yet it says 31 gigabytes on the PS Store, you get it? Almost twice the file size of KH3, 67.5. Long story short, I'm not going to talk about these different numbers, it gets confusing in the end. I wouldn't rely on this number, 36 gigabytes, for now. I wouldn't rely on it, okay? It could be much bigger in the end, or slightly. Why am I even bringing up slightly? Well, isn't KH3 supposed to be this huge game, maybe 80 gigabytes, 90 gigabytes or something? You guys might say, wasn't it estimated to have 40 plus hours of story, 80 hours if you complete it 100%? Yes, it was. I mean, look at FF15. That's the thing. FF15 is this massive, huge open world game, and more realistic graphics for sure, not to mention the ability to switch between Japanese and English audio. That adds up in gigabytes. Don't forget the music, that also adds up. I'm not saying KH3 is a small game or that it won't have lots of soundtracks. No, it is a big game, and it'll have a lot of music, no doubt. KH3, although the biggest game out of the series so far, it's not as big as FF15. Unless we look at future DLCs and stuff, we do know that Final Mix is no more. Nomura did say this. If we do get anything Final Mix style, it's all gonna be DLCs in the future. That obviously will add up. So what's the big deal with Nomura saying that they're running out of disk space back in June 2018? The PS4's disk size is 50 gigabytes maximum. Let's go back to what he said. There are various reasons, but the one with the big influence would be the movie capacity. When you load cutscenes in real time, if it's in the same scene, you could just load a few data. But if you put in an entirely different scene like Meanwhile at the same time, you had to load that data from zero, which makes the loading time very long. In order to solve this, we turned some of the cutscenes into movies to reduce the loading time. But if the movies are being kept at high quality, the capacity ends up becoming very big. It's much more than we have assumed. Not to mention the ability for dual audio. It was being thought of, but Nomura explained that it was way too difficult. Not only do they need extra voices in the file, but we're also talking about lip sync data, which all adds up in gigabytes in the end. Maybe, just maybe, Nomura was overestimating the size of the game, thinking it would exceed 50 gigabytes if we look at the PS4 version at least. Maybe that was the case initially. This was back in June. Maybe we're looking at compression Nintendo style, fitting a bunch of content in a small file size. I mean, won't that affect load times still? A lot of compression? Although Kingdom Hearts 3 is still the biggest game in terms of file size, looking at this picture, credit goes to 13th Vessel over on Twitter, I am without a doubt surprised if Kingdom Hearts 3 ends up being 36 gigabytes. If not slightly more, well, I mean, I'm still looking at Spyro, 67.5 on PS4. Same type of cartoony aspects. And the games aren't as long, well, if you combine them, it's not as long as KH3's. The estimated story time and gameplay. Sure, Spyro has the ability to toggle the remastered soundtrack to the original, but what? That's only gonna add up to a few more gigabytes? That's it? But anyways, if anything, this 36 gigabytes over on the Xbox store, we could be looking at a day one patch, which is still yet to get announced. Which of course is gonna increase the file size in the end. Now I know games like Persona 5 or the latest Dragon Quest aren't that big in terms of file size either, and have a lot of gameplay time, I know. Size doesn't always mean quality. So with that out of the way, let's just go over a few things I've missed. Kairi's Kingdom Hearts 3 renders. They're beautiful. Protect her at all costs, guys, okay? Keep that in mind. Sora's stance, if you look at it, get it? This is Kingdom Hearts after all, hearts being connected to one another, Kairi being connected to Sora. Look at Xion, same stance, also connected to Sora. This one reminds me of Terra. Aqua connected to Terra, Aqua who's also connected to Kairi. You get it? There's always an explanation behind anything that happens in Kingdom Hearts. Disney and Pixar talk about the development of KH3 in terms of worlds, especially Toy Box, Arendelle, Monstropolis. They talk about the Toy Box Keyblade, how Frozen was decided. I mean, it's obvious, you don't even have to read it, but if you're interested, go ahead. They talk about an Easter egg, how Monstropolis has areas which weren't in the film. The link to the article will be in the description below. Amazon's pre-order bonus, the 7-Eleven Keyblade. Oh no, wait, it's called the Dawn Till Dusk Keyblade. The whole Amazon thing was just a huge mess. We got baited twice, no world premiere exclusive footage, they called it, nothing of such sort, just the Together trailer, the short version some people saw in theaters in North America. And by the way, this bonus skin is only for the US. And the thing is, this skin has never been exclusive until Amazon announced it. It had already started in Japan first, known as the 7-Eleven Keyblade. It was just this big mess, I'm not gonna get into it. They just overhyped the whole thing, end of story. Nomura released more artwork for KH3's themed attire in Japan. Super groupies. These look sick. Imagine having these as, should I even mention it? DLCs? Free DLCs at least? Just the gang wearing these outfits just for fun? Oh, I want Riku's jacket. That thing looks lovely. Last thing, Nomura made some clarifications on the next upcoming trailers. The official translation is as follows. Hello everyone, I said it would be next month, but I feel bad leaving it so open. The next trailer will be out in December 10th. We'll show new footage. On the 18th, the final trailer, Japan Standard Time. We're still editing, so times are to be considered. I really mean it this time. When I see you next month, Nomura. The thing with November, well, Nomura had said we would see an extra new trailer in the month of November, but we aren't too sure if he was referring to the Together trailer or not. But anyways, here it is, we are going to get more footage this month. And yeah, it's not gonna be at the Game Awards, which is happening on December 6th. If we were to get a trailer, I think Nomura would have mentioned December 6th. But anyways, we are so close to the release, guys. It's crazy. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3, we're going to play it soon. Yep, I am happy, and so are you, I am sure about that. So with that being said, guys, this is it for the video. So tell me, what do you think of the file size mentioned over on the Xbox store? Do you feel like that's the final size you'll get once you install the game? Other than that, share your thoughts on other stuff mentioned on the video, if anything. So yeah, with that being said, I've been Vivi, and thank you so much for watching.